Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, a team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into YSN Live on this Thursday, the 29th of January, 2026. DJ Yoakley with you and riding solo today because the 8-time best-selling author, Grammy, Emmy Award-winning, world-traveling, and Pulitzer Prize nominee didn't win. Came up short, but we're still working on that. We're going to get that trophy in Anthony's trophy case. Anthony Ronald Hartwig is on assignment today. He is doing the Brookfield and Champion girls game, which is set to start in about 10 minutes. So you can check that out and, have the multi-view going up on ysnlive.com or anywhere, essentially, you are in the world. You can pull that up on your device and watch some, believe it or not, watch some sports, for crying out loud. I mean, we're out there and hell is frozen over outside, and we are going to finally play some hoops, and we're getting it done at noon here today, 12:15 local time. And boy, I know Anthony's geeked up for it. And we've got another noon game tomorrow. I will be on that one, as it's the reversal, as everybody's going to be in Brookfield. Champion will be in Brookfield, and we will have hoops at noon or 12:15, which they push the hoops at noon thing. I don't know if it's like a copyright issue or what's going on, why it's back to 12:15. I'm okay with it, but we'll have that for you here on ysnlive.com, and then a ton of stuff tomorrow, it looks like, because I would imagine schools are trying to get back to normalcy. If you read between the lines and you read the tea leaves a little bit, you can kind of tell that next week is going to be, hey, we gave you a week off due to the weather. We're going to get back in. We're going to get things normalized, and we're going to get back to our normalization here, which is all sports all the time. We got a great show for you today. Two guys that I really appreciate and mean a lot to me coming on the show. First, we have the head basketball coach of the South Range boys basketball team, Pat Carden, will stop by here momentarily. And then at 12:30, big energy himself, Logan Sarnas, will stop by. I know he's excited about this weekend. Potentially a ton of just career opportunities across the way. He's going to highlight one main one that potentially could happen this weekend or very soon for the Ursuline Irish. Logan Sarnas will join us at about 12:30. So we're looking forward to that. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, one of the dear friends that I have in this world, when you don't get many of them, a guy who got teched up the other night. Bang! Got banged down. But he inspired his team to play some great defense towards the end of the game. Came up short, but he's got much more up his sleeve than just being a great basketball coach. He is a great husband, great son, great friend, and certainly, boy, he can stir the pot a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing in right now the head coach of South Range basketball team, the boys' side, Mr. Pat Carden. What's up, PC?
Quite an entrance there, DJ. Thanks for letting the world know about that technical the other night.
Stir it up, baby. Just stir it up. Hopefully we don't get any text messages after this particular interview, but let's talk. Let's start there. That's not the reason we brought you on, and you want to be on, but let's start there. I've never received a technical, nor have I ever coached at an organized level in basketball. But when you get teed up, what's the first, like, is it like getting in like trouble at school? Is it, do you feel like, oh man, here we go? Because, I mean, I'll be honest, you just told everybody to move down on the bench. So you had a seat. What was it like for you? Was that your first tech?
That is my second one. I had one last year against Mohawk, and then that's the second one. Yeah, it's like getting sent to the principal's office. You tell them all to move down. You guys sit down. You get put in timeout. You know, every coach kind of has their own reasons for getting those. Sometimes it's frustration. Sometimes it's, you know, maybe if you feel like some calls aren't going your way. Sometimes you just got to do it to try and get your guys fired up. We weren't playing real good. I thought we were a little flat. A lot of things not going our way. We weren't making shots. The ball wasn't bouncing our way, like I said. And, just kind of one of those that frustration boils over and, you kind of let the emotions get the best of you. You gotta sit down, and you still got to coach the rest of the game though. That's the thing. Even though you got to sit down, it makes it a little bit more difficult because your guys have a little bit harder time seeing you, hearing you. But still continue coaching throughout the end.
And you got to be real careful after that first one, because you get the second one and you're talking about like behavioral classes that you have to take from the OHSAA. So is that kind of rolling in the back of your mind when you kind of do get caught with your hand in the cookie jar, or you do?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you got to catch yourself real quick. My first year here, we had a scenario where, coach did get two of them. And you saw how that kind of boiled over. And, you got to think about the team. You got to think about your next two games, because I'd be sitting out those ones. And for us, those are, two pretty big games and two pretty important games with us and Boardman and Poland this weekend. So definitely ones that if I had to miss those, I would not be happy about.
We're definitely going to get to the Boardman-Poland matchup Friday, Saturday, as it looks like right now. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But there's a very, 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 very big reason that you wanted to be on today's show, and that was to talk about what tomorrow is going to bring and what it means to not just South Range and the families and the communities of Raider Nation, but so many people that have crossed paths with a guy, the athletic director of South Range, Donnie Farron, who means so much to everybody, obviously going through a very tough diagnosis and battling cancer. But tomorrow night is about him. Tomorrow night is, we're all rocking purple. We're all going to back Donnie Farron. Why was it so important? And what really, for you, what are some of the things that you're planning in the Booster Club and so many others kind of have their hands into and kind of pushing towards and lifting up Donnie Farron?
Yeah, this was a district-wide event. Donnie's been here for a long time. He's done a lot of stuff for, athletes, teachers, coaches. He's a huge part of, obviously he hired me here as the basketball coach, and he's a huge part of that support that he's shown of why I'm still here now and here as a full-time as a teacher. He's been fantastic to me. Donnie can be hard at times. Some guys, but you get past that rough shell of his, and he's a guy who just really cares about everyone that he's around the most. He cares about his students. He cares about the athletes in South Range sports. So our whole school district kind of came up with this idea, and a basketball game was just kind of the perfect event to put this on. We got it against Boardman, where there's not a lot of extracurricular activities going on. It's not a league game. It's a Friday night. We don't have any other events going on. Coach Flores and Boardman and Mr. Hamilton over there, their athletic director, they've been fantastic. They're promoting on their socials, and they're saying anything that we need, they're going to support us. So, that's been huge too with having them. We have shirts made up for tomorrow. All of our players are going to wear them pregame. They say Farron Fanatics. It has a nice South Range flag around the collar. Instead of the SR inside, it has a DF for Donnie. They're selling those at the door. So those will be available for purchase. They're white with the periwinkle lettering. That's the color for his cancer. then there's all kinds of other things. They're doing dollar tickets to get in, which is a really special event for us, with some donation buckets at the door. There's 50-50 raffle where that's going to go to Donnie. There's a lottery tree, Chinese auction. Like I said, it's a whole district-wide event where, all of our coaches, our teachers, everyone's chipping in. And we're hoping to just really make it a special night where, it'll be a great environment too. I think the gym's going to be rocking. We don't always see that place, packed to the full that it could be. And, I think these are one of those special times where you're going to see it.
And one of the things that we're excited about is we continue to kind of utilize the technology arm that we are at YSN is when this happens in a community, we want to get everybody involved because being so, in every school for 80 different districts is obviously big. It's important, but you've got to be able to flex the influence. And what we're going to try to do tomorrow, you and I talked about it, is get that QR code so that way people can donate, via PayPal or GoFundMe or whatever it is. And it usually goes through, help me out here. It is the nonprofit.
Helping Hands, Shaker Woods Helping Hands.
Shaker Woods Helping Hands. Thank you very much. I blanked right there. And the biggest thing is that goes to Shaker Woods Helping Hands, and then it goes right to Donnie Farron for whatever he needs. And there's so many other great things that Shaker Woods Helping Hands does that we support at YSN. But I know that when we were going through the first kind of battle that he had when this thing was brand new, he came to me in his benefit and said, hey, please make sure that you're helping them. And that was, we kind of geared our all-star games towards Helping Hands, and they did a great job, continue to do a great job. So we're going to try to get involved. So if you're not able to make the game for whatever reason tomorrow night, you can get involved through, giving through that QR code and make it very easy for you to maximize this opportunity. So Pat, when you think about Donnie Farron, and you've kind of alluded to it already, but the kind of guy that he is he would give you the shirt off his back. Walk me through some of the moments that you've had to, as just not a coach, as a friend, as someone who knows Donnie, is in his inner circle. What are some of the things that you've had a tough time with, in what he's had to battle through?
Yeah, like you think about some of the stuff that we do. Donnie, like I said, he's been very supportive of me since I got here. We have bonfires at his house after the football games where a lot of the coaches are at, different school personnel, just kind of all those times. Like I've spent, obviously, one of my athletic directors of Springfield was my father, so I spent a lot of time with him. But outside of that, Donnie's the athletic director I spent the most time with. He's always available for a call, a text, whatever it may be. And he's just, at the end of the day, to him, it is a job, but, he's worried about the people that are inside of it with him, and another South Range walking statue just walked into my room here in Coach Rock. So, I think he's been here for his entire life, so he could probably hit on that better than me. So
Tell him to sit down.
Come on, and he'll come in and take over for a second here on this.
I'm not made for this winter sports stuff. It's too cold for me. I had to come in out of the cold.
Stop being soft. Stop being soft. You were probably shoveling somebody's driveway.
No, I just walked in at the end of that. I actually had to borrow Coach Carden's keys to get in the weight room. My coat was in there. But no, just to piggyback off of what he said, like I can tell you personally, just dealing with some tough situations, I think over the past couple of years, time after time been the first guy to reach out and just say, hey, what do you need? How can we help? And that's not unique to me. That's, I think, anybody in the community, anybody that he knows and cares about, he's like that with them. So obviously any support that we can give him, I think is he's more than paid it forward.
Dave, when you think about, what he's battling through and some of the adversity that, he's going through, how do you think that he's been
Sorry, we just lost Wi-Fi. It's too cold for the internet. What'd you say?
It's gotta be his, right? You're moving on that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he is a statue. Home turn.
He must have. It must be his internet because you're the only one on there now. He's best. You back there?
Yeah, I dropped off, so I apologize for that.
Oh, you're good. You want Coach Rock back? You can get him back.
All right.
Yeah, you get him back. You got to finish your question.
Welcome to live broadcasting.
Hey, Deej.
Hi, Dave. Little bit shook right now, but let's get back to the task at hand. I mean, when you're talking about Don Farren, someone who didn't want any of this, didn't want any of the limelight, for you, what does it mean to be able to give back to a guy like him?
I think just the whole community. It's certainly not me. Just everybody that's, I think, pulling together. I think it's just another testimony to what South Range is about, and it really is a family atmosphere. And I think that word gets thrown around kind of ad nauseum, but it really is true. And Donnie's the first one to jump in line and help somebody else. So anything that we can do for him, I think is appropriate.
What are your expectations for an event like tomorrow night from this community? What do you expect people to show up like? I mean, support all this stuff. And Pat talked about the shirts and the donation buckets and the 50-50. What kind of things? What are your expectations for the community in general that you know and love so much?
I think all of those things that you mentioned. I just think it should be an electric atmosphere. I think it'll be a packed house and probably a hostile environment. I know Boardman's coming to town. They've been just in talking to Coach Carden, he's been saying just how accommodating they've been. With kind of a unique set of circumstances. But I think anytime the South Range community feels like every time we're kind of backed into a corner or, as a family are dealing with something difficult, it seems like we rally together. So I would expect this just to be another example of that.
For you, why is Donnie Farren so important?
I mean, I think you start out with just the person. I mean, he's a great friend to so many of us. And I'm sure you guys touched on this before. I mean, more than willing to do whatever it takes to help somebody out. I think he's fiercely loyal to me and to Pat, to so many of us as individuals. And then I don't know if you're going to find somebody that's more fiercely loyal to the brand. I mean, he's South Range through and through. I think he's a terrific leader. He's a great guy to work with. He's a great friend, great family, my great dad. I mean, you name it. And I think he checks all those boxes.
We appreciate you for spending some time.
No, thank you guys. Sorry, I would have come a little bit more prepared. I came out of the cold. Like I said, Coach Carden's, he's cut out for this winter sports stuff, man. First time I left the house in a week. So
it just shows that Raider toughness, man. You guys showing up when nobody else is.
Yeah, I guess we're the only ones in. Either that or we're the most unprepared. I don't know, one or the other. The rest of those guys have their lesson plans ready to go.
Just trying to get out of the house, that's all.
Yeah, well, I think Julia, Mrs. Rock, kicked me out of the house for a little while. She said, "Don't you have somewhere to be?" So I had to get out of there. But I'll put Pat back on. Good seeing you, Deej.
Attaboy. Thanks, Dave.
Stay warm, buddy.
You too, bud. So this interview went completely sideways from the standpoint of, I don't know how you lose internet, but anything's possible in East Palestine. When you think about tomorrow night, what do you ultimately, and I apologize if I already asked this question, I can't remember what I was live for or not. What ultimately do you want to see out of this community coming through, and what goals and aspirations do you have for your own guys, and knowing that this game, this event is for Donnie Farren?
Yeah, I think you're going to see the community come together as one. Like I said, it's really, it might be me on here talking about it. That's just because it happens to be at a basketball game, right? It's been a community event. Everyone is doing their part. Coach Rock was huge about, getting the T-shirts made, going through Tom Knight over there at Nightline/BSN and getting those for us. And we had them within a matter of 2-3 days in our order. So that's, and you're just going to see everyone there. We try and preach to our guys all the time where, it's bigger than basketball, right? It's hard to maybe kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel. This is one of those events where, it's an unfortunate event of why we have to do this benefit. But our guys could really see that, where it is larger than basketball. It's about community. It's about pride, and taking care of those, that you love and that love you.
Ultimately, we are playing a basketball game tomorrow, hopefully.
Hopefully.
You do play a tough team in Boardman. I mean, they've had their adversity that they've battled through this particular season, but waiting in the wings is a big NE8 game. You and I talked about this before we got on the air. You guys you got to chip in the chair, but you're going to need some help to get that NE8 title that is so coveted around the conference. For you, what do you want to see out of your guys tomorrow night that, obviously we saw shades of last Friday, but ultimately coming up short? What needs to happen?
Yeah, we got to play for 4 quarters. That's a big thing with us this year, is making sure that we put 32 minutes together. I think Friday was kind of the first time where we were really behind this year by a significant amount. We have quite a few losses, but those have come in like the final minute. Like I said in our interview back in November, early December, whenever it was, that we had a lot of young guys who weren't playing varsity yet, so we made a lot of mistakes early on trying to finish out games. We went on a nice little stretch there. I think we had 6 wins in a row. And then Hubbard comes to town, and we just, like I said, we were 1 of 16 from 3. That's not going to get the job done. We didn't rebound real great. We didn't play hard from the start. And we're just trying to instill in our guys that when we play hard, I think we're a tough team to beat. And when we don't play hard, we're not that great of a basketball team. We don't have a ton of just really talented basketball players, but we have a lot of gifted athletes, and using that energy and intensity. And I'm hoping the gym Friday night and hopefully Saturday night, really kind of helps bring some of that energy and intensity to our guys, where some of them really feed off the crowd. I know you could see it up there when Tommy Valentine hits his 3 and he's spinning around and doing all his, goofy shenanigans that he does. It kind of gets everyone going.
He's definitely an energizer, that's for sure. When you think about trying to stay kind of even keel in a game like this, because you said you got to play 32 minutes, kind of ran out of gas against Hubbard, a team that has a lot of veterans, a lot of upperclassmen. This is a younger team. How do you keep them kind of composed in a game with a lot of feels going on all over that gymnasium?
Yeah, like I said, we were lucky. We played in a lot of close games early in the season. It started right from the rip in that Howland game that ended up being a 2-point game, right down the stretch. And then, it seemed like everything was within 4 to 5 points there for a while. But, our guys have played varsity sports, maybe not so much in basketball, but in other things. They've been in big games. They've played, we have Julian, who's playing a ton for us. He's a Division I baseball player. Everyone knows Tommy Titus and Nick Toy, from the football field. Tommy Titus played some in the baseball diamond last year. Tommy Valentine had a huge year in football. Gavin Hiscox was a starter in football, starter in baseball. And we're really glad to have him. And then you get guys like Jack Carey, who Jack plays a different sport. He plays golf, but man, that takes, that's a lot of mental effort. You got to stay mentally engaged when a shot doesn't go your way. You end up in the trap, or you chip one over the green. So you got to stay composed there for the whole time. And other guys like Mason Naples, he plays a lot of varsity soccer for us, and James Dicer, who's on the varsity football field too. So that really rounds up our varsity roster and guys who play a lot for us. And like I said, they all play at the varsity level in multiple other sports. So, we don't have a ton of specialists here. And that's one thing that we're really trying to work on, is making sure we're a small district. We got to have guys playing multiple sports, because at the end of the day, athletes are athletes.
I mean, wins this time of year, they are precious. I mean, they almost count as 2 everywhere but the standings. To get a win over Boardman and to specifically get a win over a conference opponent in Poland, what would it mean for this team down the stretch?
Yeah, one thing we looked at was, we were 2-4. We worked really hard to get to 6-4, or 8-4. When we drop one, I say, we have a really tough 3-game stretch in that Hubbard, Poland, and Boardman there. Don't let that 8-4 slip to 8-7, because we didn't do what we needed to do. Right, you might lose the game, but I need, hopefully that we are playing to our standard and playing as hard as we can. Those games but that just gives a ton of momentum going forward if we're able to come out with victories there. We're starting to get to the time of tournament time, so that's something that other teams are going to pay attention to. There's a lot of points in the RPI system with those that could help out, and you never know what your pass going to end up going to be. But those are all the kind of things you look for. Where all of a sudden, I think we're like the 8th seed right now in our bracket. You win those 2 games, you could be up, to the 5 seed, maybe the 4 seed. Who knows where it's going to be? But you start getting some favorable lines in the tournament down the road on that.
Do you miss like the old school, the way it was, and getting together with all the coaches and back and forth, and walking away sometimes disappointed in coaches and some of the politics that went with that? Or do you like the new system?
So I never sat in those meetings when they were face to face. One thing I don't necessarily love is that we don't have those true district championships. Because last year in D5 district championship, you would have had us and Poland playing at Salem or Boardman or somewhere like that. And boy, would that have been something special. Instead we're both playing different teams, and we're up in Cleveland Heights playing, back to back. So. Some of that where you get some of those close games, I was looking kind of like a D5 bracket this year. I said, you could have potentially had Girard, Poland, and South Range all in the same, in the Final Four. There's a lot of other schools in there too. You got Mooney, that's a local school. You got LeBray, local schools. But, you get those local matchups where the kids start knowing each other, and there's a little bit of, fire behind it, right? We played Norway last year, and, they're a really good team. But, there's no juice behind it, right? That's just, it seems like it's another game. It doesn't have the big game feel as some of, those local gyms and local games have.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I when they were happening, and I forgot how really young you are from that standpoint of you never had to go through that. So I apologize. Bad journalism on my part. But it's one of those things like you hear like, there's an element to the argument and the politicking, so that way you could kind of position your team in the best way possible. But I also am really curious, how has your job changed if reporting like to Max Preps and stuff like that? So I don't want to say you fluff, some of the, or kind of pull the wool over some people's eyes, but you can see some coaches, some programs are really invested in Max Preps and some just aren't. Where do you kind of find yourself in that?
Yeah, I feel like I'm on there every day looking at scores. When I was an assistant at Springfield and Girard, that was when you still used to get the paper copies of where everyone voted you at. So, you'd kind of see like, oh my gosh, this team voted us there. Are you serious? Like, we're better than that. Or, vice versa. They voted us really high. They must think highly of us. So you don't see that as much anymore. But now you're on this RPI system. It does take some wins into account and stuff like that. But, back in the day, you could kind of put your bio in. Like, Canton Central is a team that's in ours. Their record's maybe like 8-7 or something like that. They've now jumped a couple of spots, but they were low. They were like the 15 seed at one point. They have a 6'8" player. They are better than the 15 seed in our district. So, somebody's going on the line eventually. And you might be the 7 seed thinking, oh, I'm getting a home game. I'm hopefully going to get a semi-decent game. And then all of a sudden, Canton Central likes that line, and they're coming into your house. And, there's a lot of other teams like that too. So, it doesn't show the full transparency of everything where, schedules are really hard. I think last year we kind of went through this with like Richmond Heights when they were in Division 5. They lost maybe 7 or 8 games, and they weren't the 1 or 2 seed. Like, we all knew Lutheran East and Richmond Heights were the 1 and 2 seed. So, that just kind of adds a different element. Almost a little bit more strategy, I guess, to try and, see what's going to happen. But, I think that's one thing that the system needs to work out a little bit more is, a scaled factor on those wins and losses.
Hang on. I think I'm in. Hang on. All right. You can see me. So let's see.
I got you.
All right. Thanks for tap dancing for me a little bit while I got back online here on the regular internet. So, dude, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on here and talking about, obviously, your team, unveiling the curtain a little bit from what you've gone through this year, but most importantly, talking about the event tomorrow to benefit Donnie Farron, the athletic director, going through cancer. at South Range. Man, I appreciate you. I hope that I'll be there in person. Looking forward to that place, the Thriller Dome, being jam-packed from one pillar to the next. And, what you are able to do, what Dave has been able to do, it makes South Range that much more special. So thank you for everything that you do, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Carden doing the tap dance for me, and much appreciated. I know he's giggling behind. He's like, that idiot, like he can't even get internet in his own house. Promise you I paid the bill. Promise I paid the bill. Don't know what happened, but thank God that those two were able to be professionals. I don't know what they were talking about while I was gone for that minute, 2 minutes, whatever it was, but they made it work. So thank you to Dave Rock and Pat Carden of South Range for really, again, being pros through that whole thing. And make sure, if you are not able to get to South Range tomorrow night for the game against Boardman, whether you're from Boardman, South Range, it doesn't matter. Make sure that you're watching YSN for ways to contribute to the cause as we take a stand with Donnie Farron right by his side, behind him, beside him, wherever he needs us to beat this battle against cancer. I think it's very important. And I think that, as always, with everybody in the sports world, nobody fights harder than people in sports, because we know what it takes to put your head down, to grab a hand and to be a good teammate. And Donnie Farron is the best teammate when it comes to it. He's a guy that I think you're always going to say you want him on your side. You never want to be going against Donnie Farron. And I think Coach Carden said periwinkle. So we're gonna use periwinkle. I was saying purple, trying to simplify it, but we're gonna go periwinkle. So bust out your periwinkle, those of you that have it. If not, you can buy a shirt at the door and contribute to the cause. So thank you to Pat Carden and Dave Rock for being on the show today. As we turn the page and I try to get my blood pressure back to normal here, we bring in a guy that is going to crank it right back up. A gentleman who, the first time I met him, it was actually via a video, and he was on a balcony screaming at the top of his lungs, and now he's doing the same thing with a microphone across all of YSN. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring in Big Energy, Logan Sarnas. What's up, LT?
It's cold. Right outside, I got about 15 inches of snow, hasn't been touched yet, so can't wait to get the car out of the garage today. It's gonna be a delight.
That's you, man. Like, I don't know who you're waiting for. You're Big Energy. You're the guy that gets to shovel that.
I mean, we live in like where we live, there's a cul-de-sac, so all the snow is getting right in front of my driveway. So you got to shovel on a little path to get my little car through it and just keep on going down the road.
They know you're the young guy, so they're just going to shovel everything into your driveway, and you got to clear the path, man.
Yep.
LT, you were so good last week that we wanted to have you on again. I know there's a lot of people battling kind of the same things you just talked about. Was they're going stir crazy in their house. I know you are as well. There are some big opportunities, some big highlights potentially this weekend or shortly after. What do you have on your kind of clipboard that you're looking at and really everybody should have eyes on?
So, I mean, the biggest thing going on tomorrow night for sure. I've covered Ursuline all season, and early on in the season, Jalen Gunther hit 1,000 points. It was against Canfield. And the one Ursuline game, I think the only Ursuline game I didn't call this year was that one. Chris got to have that game, and I'm happy for Chris. Chris got a good game there. But Jalen hit 1,000 points early on in the season. And during the season, I keep asking myself, I'm like, Noah Bell's got to be getting close to 1,000. Well, lo and behold, 2-3 days ago in the YSN basketball group chat, the legendary Greg McAfee sends a chat, says Noah Bell's 44 points away. So I'm all giddy inside. I'm excited. I'm like, they got St. V's on this past Tuesday. That got delayed. So I was sad about that. I had to get stuck in my house. And then tomorrow night, they got a good game. It's going to be a great game against Fitch. Fitch is 10-4. Ursuline's 12-3. So very well, Noah could possibly get the 44 tomorrow. If not, he's going to get the 1,000 points Saturday or Sunday. They go up to Smithville, and they're in a tournament up there. So he could get it up there. but I don't want to be selfish, but I want to see him get 44 points tomorrow.
44 in a game is, I mean, I don't know that we've seen many of those, if any, this year. We saw 37 earlier this week, but 44, I mean, that is a big game against, you said Fitch, who, listen, they're no slouch. So
Nope.
to get 44 in a game, that would obviously be a huge exclamation point. But you've got a little bit of a younger demographic that follows you. 1,000 points. What does it mean, from a basketball player's point of view, from a basketball fan's point of view, to get that 1,000-point career scoring title on your resume?
I think, especially, it's definitely important. I think that's every high school basketball player's dream, to get 1,000 points. Like, that's everybody's goal. But for Noah to get it as a junior is what I think makes it just a little bit more special, to know he was able to do that starting varsity his freshman year, sophomore year, and his junior year. If he could get it he's going to get it as a junior. I know he is, because it's Noah Bell. The kid's averaging like 17, 18 a game.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a little bit more special that he gets it as a junior. But I think what's going to make it more special is if he can get it at a home game at Ursuline, in front of his home crowd, in front of his fans. All his family and friends are going to be there. So I think that's going to be exciting. And 44 points for an Ursuline basketball player, it could happen on any day. Jalen Gunther, they played, I think it was ISA, he had 41. And I'm losing it. And I got to call the game with one of my best friends. He was there, and he asked me, and I texted you. I was like, do you care if someone calls the game? And you said, sure. And it was electric. I mean, we were having a great time, and Noah and Jalen were just going back to back with shots. So it was a great time.
I think what I'm most excited for is the playoffs, or the lead-in towards the playoffs with you. The energy that you bring on any given night is palpable. You can feel it. I mean, the second that you turn on the stream, you know that LT, Logan Sarnas, a.k.a. Big Energy, is on the call. So for you, what gets you so excited about not only just Ursuline, but basketball in this area in general? Because you kind of do a nice lead in, you go in, and then once the game gets down to the nitty gritty, the third, the fourth quarter, and especially big shots down the stretch, you lose your ever loving mind. For you, what's kind of in it for you from a basketball standpoint? Because you're a football guy, right?
Yeah. I think for me, I've always enjoyed watching basketball. I've loved basketball. Now, I was a football player, but watching basketball to me has always been great. I love watching the NBA. I love March Madness. Like, March Madness comes around, you'll find me on my couch. I'll have multi-view on. I'll bring up a second TV. I got to watch all the games. Now, for high school basketball, I think it's just high school basketball now. It's just so energized. All the kids, everybody who's out there playing, those kids give it 100%. And I absolutely love that. You see kids flying up and down the court. And I think just calling the games in general, and like you said, in the third and fourth quarter, it's amazing. You'll have just the high intensity shots. I love the close games. I live for them. And I wish I was like Sean Elwood, big game Sean, who's getting close games every 3 days. But I love a good close game. And when it's close like that, I know it's going to be a treat for me, the fans, and the players, because those games, I live for those big games, and I live for the crazy shots that I get to see.
I'm most excited for you from a standpoint of, this is an Ursuline team that people have circled about. This could be a potential state champion team. We've seen them get to the state champion stage. Can they get to and finish the job? Can they finish the story, as Cody Rhodes would say? Can they finish the story here in 2026?
I think this team's more than capable of finishing the story. I think they're going to be able to, their path to state, it's not going to be an easy path. And if you've seen Division II that they're in, it's going to be a very difficult path. But one thing I've seen out of the Irish team this year is they don't quit. When they played Mooney, they were winning 10-10 going into halftime. But watching Ursuline all year and watching them that first half, you can tell something was off. But you know that they're going to get it fixed, and you know they're going to have it adjusted by the second half. And I always said Ursuline's always been a second half team, and that's where they strive. But one thing I've seen this year is the game's close in the first quarter in most games. Second quarter, they jump on top of it. They have a nice lead going into halftime. And then the entire second half, it's all gas, no breaks. They're not stopping. Their defense will play lights out. And if the defense is playing lights out, Jalen, Noah, and then you're going to have Nick Marcoulin and Alex Simon. They're just going to be drilling triples, or Noah's going to get an offensive rebound and put it right back up. And I've always said it about Noah this year. That guy, if he gets an offensive rebound, 99.9% chance he's putting it back up and it's good. I love it. I think it's great. But I think Ursulin's just so overall well-rounded this year, offensively and defensively, that they're going to make a really deep run, and YSN's going to be making a trip to Dayton.
I love hearing that. I think one of the things most people kind of gets lost in the sauce is the fact that you got great players, inevitably, on Ursuline. I mean, these guys are the creme de la creme. They are the cream of the crop. But the thing that separates them is the coaching staff, and especially head coach Keith Gunther. For Coach Gunther, who arguably is one of the best coaches of any sport, of any school in this area, and especially under the YSN banner, is he the difference in getting them where they want to go?
I think he is. I think he is. I always tell everybody, when you think of great basketball coaches, you think of Keith Gunther. And I think he's the coach who's going to get them there. And I think it's his discipline, the way he disciplines them, and just the way, like, you can see, like, during the game that he cares. Like, he wants these kids to do good on the court. But more importantly, like, they care about Coach Gunther off the court. Like, I know a lot of basketball players who played under Coach Gunther. They're still in contact. And when, like, for Mooney Week, for example, like, he'll have, like, older players will come back and they'll help that team practice and they'll help that team get ready, because that's how much they not only care about that team and everything there, but they care about Coach Gunther. And I think I haven't even played for him. I have an amazing relationship with him. Every time I see Coach Gunther, we have great conversations. And I think just as a player perspective, some of those guys, and hearing how they talk about him, he's amazing. Like, he gets those kids motivated. And then, like, yes, he's a tough coach to play for, but you all know it's coming from his heart. Like, he loves those kids and he wants to see them win. And I think what is really feeding this team energy this year is losing in the state semis 2 seasons ago in 2024. So, and like, Jalen and Noah were freshmen at that time. So they got that experience under their belt, and Coach Gunther got that taste in his mouth of, like, all right, this is, like, we're in Dayton. And I think this team's going to be able to finish the job. And they have really good young role players who are going to come in and relieve some of those star players when needed.
What makes you so sure? I mean, and listen, we're analysts at the end of the day, and we're going to gas up our teams. But what makes you so sure that this team has what it takes to get the job done, to finish the story?
I think it's just their determination. Like, I've seen I'm trying to think of games where they've gotten down, like they were down big, and there aren't a lot of them. Like the Gilmore Academy game, they lost, and I think they lost by 5 that game. But I walked out of the gym, and the players walked out of the gym, and it's like, Ursuline lost that game by 5, but they gave it everything they had against a really good Gilmore Academy team. There was stuff that they all said that they had to clean up, and I know Coach Gunther cleaned it up because turnovers that game were a problem. Those have gotten fixed since then. Rebounding was an issue. Those have gotten fixed since then. So I think whenever they find issues within the team and like within how they play, it's fixed instantly. Like the next game, you won't see another turnover. You won't see missed rebounds. So I think this team is just, they're cleaning up all their mistakes. And in the past years, Ursuline's been playing their best basketball the second half of the season. So I think they're going to finish strong. It's going to be the second half of the season, it's going to be tough. I'm looking forward to this Fitch game, but I'm most importantly looking forward to that makeup game they have February 17th against St. Vincent St. Mary's.
Do you think at the end of the day that it's the unselfishness of this particular squad that makes them potentially, a big threat to anybody that comes across their path?
I think it is. I think these guys they care about each other. It's just not one person out there. Like, yes, Jalen and Noah are their top playmakers, but you watch how those guys are on the court and seeing them off the court. Those guys are there for each other. They have each other's backs, and they want to see each other succeed just as much as they want the entire team to succeed. So I think these guys, they play for their brothers, they play for each other, and they play for Coach Gunther. And I think that's important when a team's going to have to make a deep run like that, because the further you get in the tournament, the more challenges you're going to have. And the more challenges these guys face, they're going to fight those challenges together as a team.
LT, switching gears real fast. LeBron was in Cleveland last night. Could be the last time ever. He started tearing up. He was crying after they played the video of him going for 25 straight against the Pistons. Were you an LBJ guy? And are you an LBJ guy on top of that?
I love LeBron. I think LeBron's my favorite player. I grew up watching LeBron. So, like, I didn't have, like, I see you got the Bulls jersey on. So, I take it you're a Jordan guy. Are you?
Why can't you be both? That's my question.
But here's the thing. I never got to watch Michael Jordan. I never got to see him play. So for me, like, LeBron's the guy who made me fall in love with basketball. Like, when I was a little kid, I was sitting there watching LeBron, and I always wanted to be like LeBron. Like, I can't tell you how much baby powder I went through trying to be LeBron, creating the chalk toss in the mirror.
I didn't know where that was gonna go.
I threw the powder up. I thought I was LeBron. I wore 23 the last time I played Little League basketball. Thought I was LeBron. So I think I want to see LeBron go back to Cleveland. Like,
you want the whole, like, dog and pony show back in Cleveland.
I want like a farewell tour. Like, I want how they did Dwayne Wade when Dwayne Wade retired. Everybody he's getting a jersey swap. Like, there's a new jersey every game. He's swapping jerseys. I thought Dwayne Wade had the perfect farewell tour, and I want LeBron to have something like that, because
maybe the greatest commercial of all time. I still just start tears immediately.
I know
when
what you're talking about.
Oh, it's the jersey swap stuff, man. That's crazy. That's the way I want to go out. I want to go out with jersey swaps.
Yep.
When I retire one day,
we get YFN jerseys made.
Yep.
Every team we broadcast, we do a swap with the head coach after the game.
I'd lose it.
That'd be a good ending to your legendary career.
Hopefully, we're a long way from that. We still got a lot of meat on the bone, so to speak.
We got at least 50. Got at least 50 years left.
50 years. Oh, buddy.
I think me personally, I think LeBron's the greatest of all time. Now,
that'll do it for this interview with Logan Sarnas, because he doesn't know ball, apparently.
I never watched when my parents talk to me about old basketball, it's always the bad boy Pistons versus Dennis Rodman, and it was physical then, I heard. I mean, I didn't get to see any of the games. 2K doesn't do it justice. They don't let you throw a punch.
Go on this crazy internet site called YouTube. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, and type in Michael Jordan highlights and see what pops up.
Something I want to know about Jordan: how did he play in the Jordan 1s for all those years? Because I give him props for that, because the Jordan 1s aren't the most comfortable shoes. So I don't know how he played a full basketball game in them.
Well, you know that he came out with a different version every year, right?
Yeah,
and he was the first one to ever do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
mean, they got comfortable, more comfortable over the years. But you have Jordans, but you've never seen Jordan play.
Yeah, because they're nice shoes. I'm a sneakerhead at heart. I love my sneakers. Jordan's got great shoes.
You're killing me, dude. You're killing me. You at least got to respect the GOAT. If you're rocking his kicks, you got to be able to know what he did.
So DJ, I got a quick question for you since we're on the Michael Jordan topic.
Boy, oh boy, here we go.
Do you think Jordan would have won 6 finals if he didn't have Scottie Pippen?
Yeah, because he would have had some other scrub.
You think Scottie Pippen's a scrub?
Yeah, dude. He's never an alpha.
See, I can't say anything. I didn't watch him play, so I'm sitting this one out.
So wait a minute. So you've never seen the documentary with Michael Jordan, The Last Dance?
Oh, Last Dance is an amazing documentary.
Okay, so you know about Michael Jordan. You just don't want to give him his roses.
I love LeBron.
There's nothing wrong with loving LeBron. I have a lot.
I think Jordan's great. My top 3 of all time: LeBron, Jordan, Kareem.
So how do you know about Kareem and you don't know Jordan?
I know ball.
You don't know ball. If you don't know Jordan, you don't know ball.
I know Jordan. He's the second best player of all time.
All right. We've gone down this path before. I don't like this path.
I'm just saying.
There is so much disrespect in this room right now. So
See,
much.
this might be another controversial topic. I think Peyton Manning's a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying. I think he's an overall better quarterback. Yeah, Brady's got 7 Super Bowls, but I think Peyton Manning was an overall better player.
Should Bill Belichick be in the Hall of Fame first
Oh,
ballot?
100%. He got robbed. 100%. You win 6 Super Bowls. What more does a man have to do?
He actually has 8 Super Bowl rings.
Well, even better yet. Even better yet.
Makes no sense. I don't understand it.
If me and you were on the committee, he would have been in.
What else does he have to do?
Thank you. I don't know. Like, if you're not a first ballot Hall of Famer, like he was, like you said, 8-time Super Bowl champion, coached what everybody calls the GOAT and Tom Brady. Tom Brady's an amazing quarterback. Yes, he is the GOAT, but I just think Peyton Manning's an overall better quarterback.
He can't be the greatest of all time, Logan. And then you say, but there's a guy that's better. Like, that is not the greatest of all
He
time.
won 7 Super Bowls. You got to give the man his props. He's got 2 for his thumbs.
I do give him his props. What are you doing? And I'm a Peyton Manning guy.
I just think we can talk about this in private, but I think Belichick should have been in the Hall of Fame. 100%.
Swerve.
He got robbed at the end of the day. He got robbed.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. I thought that was a joke. And then there are some jokes out there, and there's listen, I turned 41 next week. I will tell you this, that the internet almost got me because there's a Phillip Rivers Twitter. Did you see it?
What one are you talking about?
The one where Phillip Rivers no. I take that back. Not Phillip Rivers. Ryan Leaf. Some fake account, burner account, came out and said Ryan Leaf was one of the guys that voted on the Hall of Fame. And I went through the roof that Ryan Leaf, number one, had a Hall of Fame vote. Number two, he was criticizing Bill Belichick. And for those of you who, why are you guys talking? Bill Belichick's dad is a Struthers grad. So technically there is some local relevancy to this. And, oh, by the way, I think that people need to realize, it should be the Bill Belichick trophy. I'm sorry, Vince Lombardi. Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Time to pass the torch.
And you're a Browns fan, correct?
I love the Browns, yeah.
How you feeling about Todd Monken?
There were better options. I thought there were a ton of better options out there. I got the alert. I was at breakfast with my girlfriend yesterday, and I get the alert. I'm like, I have to squint. I'm looking at my watch. I was like, who in the yeah. It was. I thought they were better. Like I always say, you had Mike Vrabel in the building, and you just let him walk out because we all thought Kevin Stefanski was a better coach. Now, don't get me wrong. I honestly liked Kevin Stefanski. He took us to the playoffs twice. Won us a playoff game against the Steelers. Sorry, DJ. But
yeah.
But I'm a Browns fan. I also think, and I don't know how you feel about it, I think Mike McCarthy was a great hire.
I do now.
I think he's a great hire. I think he's a good coach. He's an overall good coach. And I think a lot of it was the fact that they want Aaron Rodgers to stay. So if you play your cards right, do you want Aaron Rodgers to stay in Pittsburgh, yes or no?
I don't know. I think there's much more that needs to be done. I never thought I'd be on this side of the coin of see what you can get back for TJ Watt. I didn't think I'd ever be there. I think I'm there.
Yeah.
I think I'm there.
I think
7 sacks for $40 million isn't a great trade-off.
But you know who's the all-time leading sack record?
Yeah, Jared Allen.
Okay. Yep. There we go. Way to just We had a good thing going ever since we got off of the Michael Jordan topic.
Jared Allen had 23.
I just think. What was it? I see. I lost my train of thought here.
Well, listen. Do you think Myles Garrett's going to stay in Cleveland now that Schwartz is gone?
Well, did you see his Instagram story?
I did not.
Hold on.
Is it just a luggage?
It's just a picture. He didn't look the happiest. Let's see here. Myles Garrett, Flash Garrett. This is what he posted 15 hours ago for all the viewers at home to see.
Hang on, I'll blow it up. Let me see if I can. Boom. What do we got here?
Just that.
The heck is that? Just him pouting?
It's just a picture of somebody with their head down pouting. So that gives you any representation of how Myles Garrett feels about the hire. All the players wanted Jim Schwartz to be the head coach. I thought he was the best option after, you let Mike Vrabel walk out of the building a year ago. All right. All the other coaches just took their names out. We're going to hire Todd. So I'm looking forward to just hopefully being
not like Sean bringing light to the situation. That might be one of the greater calls of all time.
I just think the Browns, there were better options out there.
Yeah, and I think that's what got everybody kind of twisted up in Pittsburgh was Mike McCarthy is more of the same, but I don't think it's more of the same. I think it's actually closer to polar opposite of what Mike Tomlin was.
Offensive-minded guy.
Yeah, and, if he wins 12 games a year in Pittsburgh, I think that they're dancing in the streets, whether they get out of the first round or not. Beat the Browns twice a year, beat the Ravens twice a year, split with Cincinnati because nobody really cares. They don't do anything anyway.
Yep.
Like, you're all right. But I think the bigger thing was, okay, but I'll tell you what got me was his press conference. I mean, you got a guy that cares as much about Pittsburgh as the fan base and takes a little bit personal. Not that Mike Tomlin didn't, but
I just think Tomlin's time was up.
I think he got comfortable.
Yeah.
I think he got comfortable, complacent. But I'm interested, man. The carousel in the AFC North has come to a stop. And now, guess what? We don't even know who's on these rosters. And we're sitting there saying, oh, Browns are going to stink. Well, that's pretty much inevitable. But what are the Steelers going to do?
Me and a few people at work yesterday were talking about this. Mike Tomlin's one Super Bowl was from Bill's team.
Stop. All right. But does Bill Cowher get credit for that Super Bowl?
No,
he doesn't. Who gets the credit?
Mike Tomlin.
Bingo.
Did he win anything ever since?
Okay.
You know what? He should have won a Super Bowl with Big Ben, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell. He should have won a Super Bowl there. That was his time.
You're an Instagram guy, right?
Yeah.
Go follow Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell on Twitter or Instagram and tell me if you or anybody or Bill Belichick could have won a Super Bowl with those crazy human beings.
But they weren't as crazy back then.
What Le'Veon? What do you mean? Go look up Antonio Brown towards the end of his tenure in Pittsburgh.
You want to hear my first ever, that first time I ever saw Antonio Brown play against the Browns? Like, just little me. I was like 8 years old probably.
Was it the karate kick to the punter?
The face? Like when he kicked him in the face? Yep, that was it. That was my first ever Antonio Brown. First time ever seeing the guy play.
That's your introduction.
That's my intro to Antonio Brown.
Love it.
I mean, I didn't really watch the guy because I didn't watch the Steelers, but the last time I ever remember seeing him on TV, he took his jersey off and took his pads and threw it into the crowd, and nobody's ever seen him since.
Oh, they've seen him. They've seen it. And if you're not following him on
they haven't seen him on the football field. They haven't seen him on the football field since.
If you're not following Antonio Brown on socials, you're not doing it right. Like, that is just must see. Everything he puts out is probably not safe for work, but it's entertaining as all get out. LT, we got to bounce, man. I appreciate you popping on the show and giving us the down low on everything that is potentially coming up this weekend. I'm sure Fitch has something to say about Mr. Bell, the other Mr. Bell, going for 44 and joining the 1,000-point club. But
they only lost to them by 6 the last time, so it's anybody's game. I am excited to be on the call tomorrow. I mean, I can't wait. Just put the headset back on.
Chomping at the bit to get out of there, man. I love it. Love it. And you've been doing an incredible job. I mean, the rookie class of YSN might be the best that's ever been. Be the best that's ever been.
What was like a great NFL rookie class? Can we like name? I consider us like the Ohio State wide receivers, the rookie wide receivers. They're great every year.
You guys, between you and Sean, you guys are probably the class of 2004 in quarterbacks with Ben and Eli. Who's the other one? Not Drew Brees. Who was the other one?
Was it Phillip Rivers?
It might have been Rivers. I think it's Rivers. That's a pretty good class.
You gotta, because it was a lot of fun the last home game I did. I had my best friend on the call with me. We were just feeding off of each other because basketball with someone else is Shaq and Kobe of YSN. Sean, I love it.
I don't know. I think we're in the wrong. I think we're on the wrong street for Shaq and Kobe.
But
Maybe like Castle and Wemby.
do like, let's think of a good one. Like two of the greatest of all time. We're the LeBron and Jordan. We're the LeBron and Jordan.
You guys barely have your baby teeth yet. You're sitting there, LeBron and Jordan, Shaq and Kobe.
Just saying. Just saying.
I don't think you have any championships in your cupboard. Not yet, young buck.
We'll see. I mean, I'll get a championship when Ursuline wins state this year.
You come to me when you got a championship. Like those guys back there.
What's that? I can't see.
Sit still. Hang on.
Oh, gosh. Here we go. Here we go.
There we go. Get my ears back on. Here. This is for the elite. When you call the games and you have sacrificed hours and hours, I can't even get it out,
I think I know what it is.
and they surprise you.
It's a nice little ring, probably.
It's a ring. I can't get it out.
Raiders, baby. 2022. Over
Whammy.
water.
Whammy.
That's a good one.
That baby's. That's as good as it gets. I'll tell you that.
I almost had a ring in my day. Almost. I was
You know
a
the
freshman.
keyword. Yeah, the keyword there.
I was a freshman. Almost, though. This is a funny one, though. The other
So
day,
are you Shaq or Kobe?
I'm definitely Shaq. I'm huge. I'm a
Big
big
energy. Big energy.
Kobe
Alright.
always had close games. Sean's always in close games.
The
But
White Mamba.
yeah, I think another thing that was funny, I texted the Ursuline AD the other day and I told him the banner guys gotta love seeing your phone number pop up. Because they're ordering banners every day now because the guys are hitting 1,000.
Well, yeah, I mean, those two gyms, Mooney and Ursuline gyms, are
It's insane.
maybe the most intimidating gyms of all time.
And
You walk in
Mooney's
there
got
and
some
there's no
big
crevice.
banners.
Every crevice is covered with a banner.
All the nook and crannies, you can't find a wall without a banner.
Like they're gonna have to start trading the banners for bricks.
Well, I
And
always think about this. Like Ursuline has like their wall is like just filled with like regional banners and stuff like that. When that fills up, I don't know what they're gonna do.
New gym.
Okay, well, when we find the space, I mean, I don't know. They used to have a different when I was younger, but it's insane. They're not gonna have to put a banner there. They're gonna have to move the flag and they're gonna have to put a big state championship banner for the basketball team this year. Because this
Just go over to where that chill can place was and knock that down and build a brand new state of the art facility for Ursuline so you guys can have some new banner space. That's all.
One gym I haven't been in though. I want to experience it maybe one night when I don't have an Ursuline game is the South Range gym.
The Thriller Dome?
Is that what it's called? The Thriller Dome.
Oh yeah, dude. The Thriller Dome. There's nothing like it. The
Oh,
hangar in Columbiana right now with the video. I mean, we got some great barns right now.
And I also think that South Range has the nicest football stadium in the area.
I agree with you
That's
wholeheartedly.
The only other place.
It's nicer than, and I'm a Westminster guy. It's nicer than a D3 football stadium.
The only high school stadium I've been to that like is nicer, in my opinion, wherever we went for the week 3 South Range game when it was me and you.
Oh, Barberton. Yeah.
That was insane.
That place was nuts. No, was that Barberton? Yeah.
We're like, they had 2 press boxes, and we had to ask which one was ours and which one we were allowed to go in.
Things I've never asked, even at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
And then when we're like the visitors, and they're like, yeah, we got you guys some pizzas over here.
We took care of some of that pizza.
We did. And then the nice little South Range tailgate before didn't help.
It helped a lot. I lost you. I thought I was going to do the game on my own because I
wasn't missing that. It was a great game.
LT was gone. You got sucked up by the locals.
Oh, I love socializing with the adults. I'm a 60-year-old at heart.
They were trying to kick me off of the broadcast by the end of it.
At an Ursuline basketball game, like, you'll see me at halftime. Like, 10 minutes isn't enough for the basketball halftime because I like to socialize. It's not enough. I got people asking too many questions. Like, I need at least 20 minutes. I got to call OSHA.
Big energy. Big energy loves chopping it up with everybody. LT, thank you so much for popping on. Dude, I want you to become a regular. I think you'd be great on this show. And certainly love talking to you, love chopping it up about just sports in general, man. And 10 minutes is plenty if you do it right. 10 minutes is plenty.
See, I don't know. I don't like the conversations to be rushed. It's got to mean something. It's got to be like, you got to remember the conversation.
You're a legend.
Ladies
and gentlemen, Logan Sarnas, big energy. Thanks, LT. Appreciate you, buddy.
I'll see you guys.
See you, dude. That is going to do it for our show today. Thank you to Pat Carden, to Dave Rock. Thank you to my internet from Comcast for cutting out right in the middle of everything. Thank you to Logan Sarnas for great finish to the day. We hope that you're able to dig out wherever you are and get to a basketball game. There's one going on right now. So when you're done, when we hit the end button on this game, make sure you pop over. Champion and Brookfield girls going at it right now, and Anthony Hartwig is on the call. So hop over to that right now. Enjoy the rest of your snow day. Hopefully school is back in session ASAP. I don't know how many schools are going to go one day and then take 2 days off and then come back. But no matter what happens, make sure that you appreciate these days and some of the time you're spending with family or loved ones or whoever, because boy, oh boy, we are going to be putting the grind on. We're rolling up them sleeves, and then we're going back to work on Monday, no matter what. That's going to do it for this week of YSN Live. I will be in Brookfield tomorrow at 12:15 for the start of tomorrow's contest that should go all through the weekend. As LT was just talking about, some great games on the slate here at YSN Live. From all of us to all of you, be safe, stay warm, and hopefully we see you tomorrow night at the Thriller Dome at South Range for the Donnie Farron benefit to help him battle against cancer. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll be better tomorrow. We hope you that always, as always, may the sports be with you. Maybe. And this is that. Hopefully I can get out of the show. That's a big part of this. And there it is. May the sports be with you as I get the heck out of here. YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.